family. Irene Godzigayala here, your Globus family of brands BDM. And as promised, I am so excited to be here with you today to go in depth and be unpacked with you with two of my very close colleagues who are in the thick of it with touring and Avalon Waterways. Tour Director Enrique Aquino Longo, and my Avalon Cruise Director colleague, Adrienne Godot. So we'll go into their stories and experiences in just a little bit, but as always, you know me, I love to start with just a quick overview, get you familiar, your foundation set for what we're going to cover today. Remember, you always have the video library to go back to in the Travel Cafe to talk about Avalon, Globus, Cosmos, that we really went into detail with on Friday, as well as our group development program, which Archer is an exclusive agency for, but we'll go into more detail with that next. So remember, Globus family of brands makes up 741 vacations, covering 6 continents, 80 countries, and we are 98 years young. We just had our 98th birthday earlier this year, a couple weeks ago in January, and we are family owned and family strong. And you can see how each of our brands over the course of the 98 years got introduced. So Globus is the original girl starting in 1928. Then in 1960, we really wanted the world to be within reach, and we made and introduced Cosmos, our value-based touring product that really turns the I can'ts into I dids to check off that bucket list. And then in 2004, we started with Avalon Waterways and our river cruises. So over the course of 98 years, we are a family strong of 3 brands that are delivering fantastic vacations for your clients. And a quick overview with Globus. She is our classic touring product that really is everything in one package. And I really want you to focus in on how. We have 3 ways to tour, between classic tours, independent tours, and our small group discoveries. So take out a notebook, grab some notes, and remember that everything that myself, Enrique, and Adrienne go over today can always be found in the Travel Advisor portal under any itinerary, looking at the day-by-days of each of the tours that you're talking about. You can really go in depth and see what your clients can expect. So our first main touring type is classic touring. And classic by any means does not mean ordinary, it means original. So when Globus came up with this idea, specifically Antonio Mazzagazza, he invented the art of touring, and we've been working to perfect it and keep up with the Joneses ever since. And you see with this slide that we have subways to travel within our classic touring style, between our undiscovered tours, off the beaten path itineraries, really making you feel like a local or your client. Going deep into that suburb, for a definition that we might all be able to relate to check off these unique bucket list destinations. Cruise and tour vacations. So we partner with Ocean, Holland America, Princess, but we also have the opportunity to pair Avalon River cruises and tour vacations for extending that trip over to Europe, doing back-to-back trips, and really making those extra special memories. And then also, if you have clients that are really faith-based, we do pilgrimages and Camino, which Enrique, you're going to be talking about in a little bit, right?
Yes.
Because they are covered under Cosmos, and Enrique really knows that front and back. So with all of these travel styles, you can see each of them within the Travel Advisor portal, learn more, and really dive into which specific trips are related to these travel styles. The next one is small groups and small group discoveries. So the first one, small group discovery, is really becoming popular. And that's just an average of 15 guests in Europe with an average of 18 worldwide. And these small tours create even more unique experiences for your clients to really feel like a part of a family. And we're adding in big experiences because we have these small groups to allow for extra special accommodations Inter-tour transportation is always going to be a part of it, and then we're going to be incorporating meals and excursions, creating those fantastic libations, and adding in extra special cultural insights with these small group discovery tours. Now, the second part of the slide, I even got confused, and it's small group departure dates. So what that means is that within our Globus portfolio of tours for our classic touring, we also offer unique opportunities to take those tours within a smaller group. So that smaller group could be an average size of 24 people up to 28. But the difference is that these tours, when you're looking at them in the Travel Advisor portal, would end with a K as in kitten, and it will say small group departure. And it's a unique opportunity where you're going to be having a smaller group within that classic tour versus it being a traditional tour of up to 40 people. So there's a little bit of a difference. Myself and Wendy, my inside sales teammate superhero, are happy to always answer any questions and troubleshoot with you. Never be afraid to get clarification on anything. We want your success to have it be sky's the limit. And then the third opportunity, actually, there's a couple examples of small group discovery exclusives. So think of our backyard. Remember, we did a presentation on North America and all the opportunities with our national parks. This first image is the United States, where you or your clients could be luxury glamping in Yellowstone. So this is an example of the small group discoveries. And then in Spain, Enrique, you actually gave the suggestion, right? You have a special stay at the Madrid Palace that's actually now renamed to be the Alhambra Palace. So once we get into the Cosmo section and Enrique's experience, he'll really go into how touring is super extra special at Globus. Iceland, you can harvest and taste fresh shellfish on a Viking sushi boat tour. And then in India, you could even drive through the Ranthambore Park and explore and spot the Bengal tigers. So within each itinerary for our small group discovery tours, you can always see and anticipate exactly what's going to be included on that day by day, so your clients can get excited and make sure that everything on their bucket list is checked off. And then finally, I don't think I'll ever not talk about this, but Globus Independent. I'm sure you guys all have clients with that independent spirit. And we always are going to have smartly packaged FIT options without the hassle for you of hours of planning, but we're not removing any adventure for your client during the trip. All products within the Globus Independent will be centrally located hotels, breakfast, sightseeing, inter-tour transportation between cities. You're going to have the support between a tour director and a local host, and always ample free time. So your clients can have their spirit take them wherever it leads for that fantastic vacation. There's two different types of independence for Globus. There's the independent city stays. So think possibly a quick getaway, hopping over and jet setting to Paris for the weekend, or London and Paris, and it's 4 to 9 days, depending on how much time your clients have to get away. Or we have independent tours that are Globus tours. With that support, it does have a schedule day to day, but there's free time within every of those days, and those will range from 5 to 19 days. Remember, you can always explore all the specific and details in the Travel Advisor portal. And then, new for 2026. This is super exciting. So within our Globus tours between Europe and North America, your clients will have a choice of 2 different tour options that will be included on one day of the tour. Now, this comes with a little bit of things to have on the radar for scheduling, because you have to request your choice of tours ahead of time. So final payment is typically due 90 days prior to departure. From that 89th day, or once the tour is paid in full and you're within that 90 days or less window, you can go in and make your tour selections up until a few weeks. For choice touring days, the choice tours must be selected ahead of time. So get your clients excited, build some anticipation, put it on a calendar, a countdown, make it feel really fun, so that way they don't forget to log in and choose their choice touring options, and they get the tour of their choice. Because if no selection is made, a default excursion will be chosen on your client's behalf by Globus. So make it fun, take it as serious as you take any other excursions for your clients. Book early to have the tour of their choice be locked in. So you're always going to have, as I've always reminded you, that any tour will have the support of our tour director and local guides. And they are not just the entertainer or the storyteller. They're from the local area, and they are the interpreter. They speak the local language, and they're also a troubleshooter. They are really what I say is your ground zero for your client. There's been times where a laptop has been left in Toronto, and we've already moved on to the next city, and the tour director is chasing that laptop from Toronto to get it FedExed over to Quebec, where the end date would be, and the clients are so grateful for that rescue. And so they're really the storyteller to paint the picture for where you guys are, but it's definitely interpreting and troubleshooting and so much support. And I can't wait to now hand it over to Enrique. Thank you so much for being here, both of you, and he is actually going to go into details about touring with Cosmos, a little bit of his history, and really talk about an extra special tour that's close to your heart too, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Muchas gracias.
Cool.
Hola everyone, hola. So yes, my name is Enrique. I'm originally born very far away from here in a country in the Caribbean called the Dominican Republic. I am half Dominican and half Spanish. My father's this brown guy, my mother's this white lady, and I'm milk chocolate, more chocolate than milk. So I'm half and half. So even though I was born in the Dominican Republic, I was actually not raised there. I was actually raised here in the USA, in New York City, in the Bronx borough. Even though I don't look tough, I'm actually pretty tough, so our guests are always in very good hands. So that's why I was basically raised in New York. In 2005, when I was 21, my mother gave me some advice. You know, mothers always give the bad advice. She said, son, why don't you go to Europe and discover your other heritage? So I went to Spain. So I went to Spain in 2005, fell in love with the country. There was no turning back. My mother was right again. It was a nice way to kick me out of the house. So I got out. So in 2005, I began my adventure through Europe. And it was also when I began my experience with the Globus family of brands. In 2005, I started working for Cosmos as an airport rep. Just a year in, I was offered to become a tour director for Cosmos, which is a wonderful company. As I worked in Cosmos, I moved up to Globus, and today I'm a Globus tour director. In fact, 2026 is going to be my 21st season. Globus has been around for almost 100 years, and I've been around with Globus for almost half of my lifetime, literally 21 years. It says a lot about this company. A lot of companies go, a lot of come, some are to stay, and I'm also here to stay as well. So just to tell you a little bit about Cosmos, which is actually where I started. What a great company. So priceless experience at a price they all love. The world within reach. Why travel with Cosmos? One of the great things about the Globus family of brands is that what you're looking for, we have it. We have a big variety of everything. So you can always make the sell to that person if they're interested in, you know, upper scale hotels or lower scale hotels, or they want more free time, or they want to be taken by hand more. We got it all. And Cosmos is a great way to start. So we have wonderful innovation itineraries that sometimes Globus, for instance, doesn't offer it.
Yeah.
So maybe you're looking for something specifically. You're like, I would like to go with Globus, but we have it in Cosmos. So it's a win-win for us as well. And we love to have smart hotels. Not only smart, I also like to call them really genius hotels. So we have some hotels in the downtown areas, some hotels maybe a little bit off downtown with very good communication and transportation, buses, metro. And the great thing, we always have very experienced tour directors. So our guests always have someone they can lean on. So it's not like our guests will be lost in the middle of nowhere. We will give them some suggestions, some advice on how they can get downtown in the best possible way. And of course, also our very experienced local guides. In fact, we even use the same local guides for Globus and Cosmos. And we have experience tour directors 20, 30 years in both companies as well. Even me as a Globus tour director today with 20 years experience, sometimes Cosmos will hit me up and say, Enrique, we need to do a Cosmos tour. Bring it on. So we always have the best on both of our brands, no matter what. And one of the things about us, as you know, we're a family-orientated brand. We are really a family. For instance, my guests, when I speak to them, I always call them familia. Hola familia, buenos dias familia. Because myself, I feel like a family with the Globus family of brands. With our suppliers, our employees, I'm sure travel advisors as well, treated that way by our BDMs. So we're actually a family.
Yep.
So my guests, they're kind of like my guardian. Like, I'm a parent these days, but they're kind of also like my children. I tell them, you can count on me. You know, we're going to take care of you. Care is a key word. So I always tell my guests things like when they're going to wake up, you know, when to go to bed, you know, when to eat, what to eat, even when to pee. That's what we do, like a parent. So that's how we treat our guests, and they feel very well loved. So here I would like to go over by one of the Globus tours that I lead, one of my favorite ones. I'm a tour director from the Iberia area, so I do Spain, Portugal, Morocco, but I'm a big fan of Portugal as well. At the moment, Portugal is a very important trending destination in the world, a very peaceful place, very safe, one of the safest countries right now. And it's a place that you can visit all year round. Even in the winter, when it's freezing here in the States and in many parts of Europe, or in Portugal, you can still have some nice, decent weather. Even from November to March, you can be dealing with 55, 60 degrees, which is very good. And even in the winter time, with our escapes that we have, our escape stores, you can also avoid the big crowds in the low season and get like a really good quality experience. So I'll go over this tour. I'll try to summarize it, Portugal in depth. The name really defines it. We really go in depth. In 11 days, you're going to discover an entire country. And this is one of the great things of touring, that you don't have to worry about planning. Just sit back and relax. Let us take it. We get straight to the point. No moving around. Straight up highlights. I mean, an 11-day tour, if a couple would try to do it on themselves, in a month, they wouldn't even see half. So it's very important to be guided, just be taken, and that's exactly what we do. So just to go over this tour of Portugal in depth. So our first day, we begin with a welcome meeting when all our guests arrive. We have our 6 o'clock welcome meeting to give an expectation to our guests what to expect. Many of them have traveled before, but every day, every group, every director does things their way. So it's good to familiarize them with our new family that I'm going to be adopting for the next 11 days.
That welcome meeting really sets the stage.
For me, the welcome meeting is the most important part of the entire tour. You put everyone in line, everyone, you know, put up the good vibes, good expectations. Yeah. Everyone gets to know each other.
Exactly.
They introduce themselves, where they're from, and we become to click as a family. By the mid-tour, everyone knows each other. Everyone's looking after that, like a real family, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's
really nice.
Travel Squad, guys. Remember how many times I've talked about Travel Squad? Enrique's bringing it home.
That's right. That's right. So we have our first day, our welcome meeting, followed by a welcome dinner. You know, after that long travel, you don't want to have to go find dinner. We have it welcome with everybody. And then we have a nice little rest, and then we're ready to rock and roll. So we're our first day in Lisbon, the capital of Portugal, and we have a really nice complete day, which makes a lot of sense. We just energize. It's the time to take advantage. So we begin the morning with the included city sightseeing tour, always guided by local guides, locals from those cities, the professionals, the experts, which is always better to have that first overview. So we'll do all the main sites, drive up and down the main avenues, boulevard squares, and always visit the main sites. So in Lisbon, for instance, we spent a good part of our morning at the Belém district to check out the Fortress of Belém, the Monument to Discovery, and of course, the must-see St. Jerome's Monastery, which is actually the most visited monument in the country, period. It's a World Heritage Site. Now, first day of the tour, really in action, our guests begin to feel how special they are. So check this out. Around 9:30, this monument opens. When we're there, there's people that were queuing since 7 in the morning to try to get inside. So there's a queue from here to Carajo land somewhere. And out of nowhere, our guests are like, oh my God, we're going to have to make this long line. I'm like, no, relax. We skip lines. That's what we do.
That's what we
So we just walk in there all cocky, like, hey, how's it going? See you later, suckers. And we just go in there, and everyone's looking at us like weird. And I always have a client to be like, Enrique, are we special? I'm like, no, you're not. You're extra special.
There you go.
Because that's what we are. So our guests are already feeling like spoiled from the scratch, you know? So starting from the beginning. So that's always a nice way to begin. So once we're done with this amazing highlight of the monument of St. Jerome, we'll have a comfort stop, you know? Like get the guests, give them a chance to have a coffee, have a drink, and then we continue with our daily program. We have an optional excursion. to visit a royal palace. Portugal was a monarchy for about 1,000 years. To go to Cascais, known as the Beverly Hills of Portugal. Beautiful old fishing village. Have some good lunch. Our local guys are in charge of recommending what to actually eat. Maybe you should try the sardines or the piri-piri chicken or the roasted octopus, etc. Now, the guests that do not want to do that excursion, it's okay. So I will send one of the guests that sign up with the local guide, and the ones that don't, I'll take care of them. Awesome. So we're not going to leave you behind like, too bad, you lose. No. We got you. So they'll stay with me, and I can suggest things that they can do. Maybe look at some other sightseeing, some museums, go shopping, have lunch, so they don't have to feel left behind. And just something to mention about Globus, which makes it very unique against most competitors, just for you to know, if you didn't know. Since COVID, Globus tour directors do not earn commission for optional excursions. You know, this world is based out of commissions. You know that. But we actually don't. So we get a nice, decent salary that we're happy with. So even if our guests sign up, don't sign up, or even we cancel the excursion, we're going to treat them nicely. Because in the past, you know, you were a little bit annoyed. I guess don't want to do an excursion. You're like, I'm losing it. But today, we're like, don't worry about it. Don't feel the pressure. You don't want to do this? Don't worry. We can give you some other options. So that gives us a better customer service for our guests. And I'm sure they probably mention it to you at times. Wow, look, we didn't want to do this, but we didn't feel that pressure because it's not necessary. So that's also something very important. So anyway, our guests will head out with the local guide. I stay with the ones that don't want to go. You'll give me some suggestions. And then that evening, we will even have an optional dinner. Now, another great thing about Globus, and I'm sure you know that, that's why we are who we are, is our hotel locations. Globus, unfortunately, we never have very good locations because we have excellent locations. When it comes to hotel locations, we're not playing around. So we're always in the best centrally located areas, very convenient, saving a lot of time, a lot of stress to our guests. Now I got to get downtown in the metro. What bus do I take? Don't worry about it. We're downtown. Within walking distance, if you don't want to join that dinner, I can recommend you a seafood restaurant or this or that. So it's always very, very convenient. That's something always to have in mind. So we continue. Next day, it's time to leave. Adios, Lisboa. Let's begin our journey to the north. And on this day, this is going to be one of our busier days because we have 4 stops to make. Once again, we just started a tour. We're full of energy. Let's take care of that. Let's take advantage of that. So we visit 4 different places, very different from one to another, beginning in a place called Óbidos with a beautiful medieval castle. Our guests get to walk back into history 1,000 years back on a medieval castle in a whitewashed village. We recommend also the local specialties. In Óbidos, what is known for their ginger, their cherry liquor. I also recommend my guests, make sure you have the liquor after you walk the walls, not before, if you know what I mean.
That's a very good tip.
Absolutely, for your safety. So we hit Óbidos. From Óbidos, we go to Alcobaça, discover a 1,000-year-old monastery related to the Romeo and Juliet story of the Portuguese history. Very interesting gossip stories there as well. And then we go down to Nazaré, well known for its massive waves, beautiful old fishing village. And that's where our guests will have their first official free lunch. So we always recommend hand-chosen restaurants that I know, that I prefer, and also my guests love as well.
Really making you feel like a local, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So not big tourist spots.
Exactly. And even when the guests see me, they see me, and then the locals see me. Oh, Enrique, you're here again. And they can see we're like a family. So anyway, once we're done with Nazaré, and our guests just had some nice, delicious Portuguese food, which, by the way, fun fact, on this tour, expect to gain a few pounds. I mean, it's worth it. All good.
We feed you well, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Always. So once we're done with Nazaré, we're going to go for a little drive to Fatima. We're going to have a little siesta after that big lunch. We need a little nap. So we go to Fatima to visit one of the most important Marian shrines of the world. We're dropped off right next to it. I'll give a little orientation. And a lot of our guests even choose these tours specifically for Fatima, something very, very special. Once you're done with Fatima, we drive to Tomar, which was the headquarters of the Order of the Knights Templar. And once again, our hotel in the downtown area, literally 5 minutes away from the main square. So on that evening, our guests haven't included dinner at the hotel. Fair enough. After a long day, the last thing you want your guests to go find a place to eat. We have it in the hotel. Great. Following morning, we continue going north towards Porto. And on this day before we go, we want to discover the highlight of Tomar, which is the Convent of the Order of Christ, the former headquarters of the Knights Templar. A must. 1,000-year-old history, World Heritage Spectacular guided tour. So we leave Tomar and we head to Coimbra. This is very, very special. On most tours, we do museums, we do palaces, we do castles. How about a university? Not any university. We're talking about one of the oldest universities in Europe from the 13th century. So we visit some of the buildings of the university that were former palaces. And the highlight, which is one of the wow moments, we get to check out the library. Sounds boring, a library. No, this is not your average library. We're talking about an 18th century spectacular Baroque library. And one of the things that I like about this moment, we always look after our guests. Some walk more than others, some have more difficulty than others. So let's say we have to go down some steps to visit the former prison of the university.
There was a prison in the university?
That's right, to keep the students in line.
Okay.
So some of our guests didn't want to have to walk down there and then have to walk. There's no elevators. This is like how it was in the past.
Yeah.
So I will stay behind with these few guests, and I'll sneak them up through the back door so they can see the actual highlight, which is the library. So check this out. We go in there, and I just wait to see the faces of my guests when they actually enter, and they get that wow moment. Everyone is like, wow.
I'm here.
And if you don't know what wow means, it means without words. So everyone is like, and
There'll
all
be a
like,
test later.
oh Jesus Christ, we're in this amazing place. So it already shows, something very unique, a library, a university, and is one of the highlights from the beginning to our guests. So then we continue to head up, and we arrive to Porto, the second largest city in Portugal, the engine of its economy, a beautiful, vibrant city, and we're going to spend 2 nights there. So on that afternoon, we have an optional tour, which, by the way, on an 11-day tour, we offer 4 optional excursions. Are you kidding me? In 11-day, most competitors on 11-day tour, you get 13, 12 excursions. Just 4. Why we do that? Because we include so much.
Yeah.
We really include so much.
Anything.
I mean, if you offer 10 excursions, that's going to cost you more than the price of the tour.
Yeah.
But us, 4, because we really include. Not only that we include, but we like to blend it in, so also give our guests some free time to do their own thing.
Always free
which
time.
we'll get to that as well.
Yeah.
So on that day, we'll have one of our optional tours, which is a cruise on the Douro, which is a must. This is like a 97% sign-up rate. Everyone goes on it. So we do a 50-minute cruise on the Douro, which, by the way, Avalon, one of its latest ships, is running the Alegria on the Douro. So that's spectacular since 2024.
So perfect example of cruising tour, guys. Avalon, Portugal.
That's right.
On the Douro.
So yes, we'll have a nice cruise on the Douro, get a nice perspective from the water of Gaia, where we have all the cellars, and Porto, the actual city. And then we're going to end it up with some dinner. We're going to have tapas, which we call them petiscos in Portugal. So a big selection of traditional Portuguese dishes in small portions, unlimited drinks. Don't worry about it. Our guests don't have to drive. Zip it up, all that good Portuguese wine. Probably around 8:30, we're back at our hotel, ready to wrap it up. And then be ready for the discovery of actual Porto. So we will have our guided tour of Porto with our local guide, covering the most important highlights of the city. And once we're done with the highlights, we're going to end up with happy hour. I mean, you go to Porto, you got to hit up one of those cellars to try port wine. So we learn about the port wine, its history. We do a tasting. You can do some shopping. And right around midday, we are done. What does this mean? We're like halfway through the tour now. That means that from midday onwards, everyone's free. Do your thing, relax, get a break, go shopping. By the way, our hotel in Porto, NH Batalha, right at the heart of Porto. I mean,
and correct me if I'm wrong, with Porto in the morning, you guide them and give them some more inspiration to set up their afternoon, right?
Absolutely.
That helps. So that way you have some ideas.
So for instance, one of the things that I always suggest to my guests, I would say 75% of them do this. So we finish a tour in Gaia, which is the sister city of Porto, is divided by the Douro River. So I recommend my guests, okay, once you're done with the cellar, don't go on the bus to the hotel, which we always offer that option.
Yeah.
The ones that are tired, we'll take you back to the hotel. So have some lunch at a local market right by the riverfront. Take the gondola, the cable car up to the bridge, walk to Porto via the upper deck bridge, which is called Don Luis, where heritage stuff. And then from there, you're in 10 minutes at the hotel. So most of my guests do this. I mean, you get to go up the gondola, you get to walk over the Douro River on this historical bridge from the 1800s. And then from there, you can probably hit up the cathedral. Maybe you can hit up this amazing train station, or just walk to the hotel in 10 minutes. So we always giving people a lot of suggestions, a lot of A, B, C plans. But if you're tired, or maybe you've been to Porto before, just want to go have a nap, you can do that too.
Oh, nice.
So, but it's great that our guests, right mid-tour, they get to have a nice half a day free to do as they wish. So anyway, we leave Porto, and now we're going to begin our journey going south. Now we're going to go to a place called Viseu. On the way to Viseu, we visit 2 very important places. One of them is called Guimarães, which is the birthplace of Portugal. I mean, you go to a country, you better go to its birthplace, where the first king of Portugal was born. And one of the highlights of this amazing world heritage city is the shopping involved there. You know, our guests love to shop. I would say 75% of the people in our tour are women, and women love to shop. So I always let them, hey, take it, don't worry about it. I'm gonna let you know where you can do the best shopping. So we recommend some really nice shops of local handicrafts, some nice tiles, textiles, cork, like the good stuff, not that made in China stuff. I'm talking about the good made in Portugal stuff that our people always love. So once we're done with Guimarães, we head down to a place called Velada, where we're going to visit another winery to try different Portuguese wines, Vinho Verde, from that northern region. Yeah. And another thing that we do on this day, which is very unique, we visit gardens. These amazing, beautiful gardens, colorful. Another highlight for our guests. So we have also an included lunch there, some tapas, and then we head down to Viseu. We spent a night in Viseu, which is a town that many people probably never heard of, but it's a Portuguese tour. So we want you to see everything. Big town, small town, medium-sized town, but it's very important and historical. So right in the middle of the country, we make a stop there. Our hotel, once again, 7 minutes away from the cathedral, the museum, the monumental area. So even though we spend there a night, our guests get to discover that town, and we wrap it off with a nice dinner at a local restaurant, which is something that Globus has been doing lately. Try to remove dinners at the hotels and go to actual local restaurants like the locals do. Why not? So anyway, we leave Viseu and we head down to Évora. From the north to the south, we make a couple of stops in beautiful medieval towns. And another highlight of the day, we actually visit a cork factory. This is another like shocking wow moment. I mean, a factory? Yes. Portugal is the world's main producer of cork. So being in the Alentejo, southern part of Portugal, you must visit a cork factory, and that's exactly what we do. So everyone is learning about cork. Even myself, I thought cork was going to use as a bottle stopper, but it turns out even in the aerospace industry, shoes, wallets, clothes, they use it for everything. So anyway, we end our day in Évora, also a hotel in the historical World Heritage area. We have dinner included, and then we head down to the south, to the Algarve, the beautiful sunny Algarve, where we spend 2 nights. So on arrival day, we have an optional tour, a dinner, amazing dinner. Most people sign up for it as well. And then the following day, we have a nice late start. 9 o'clock start, little drive to the Atlantic Ocean, to the Cape of St. Vincent. And then around midday, we're done to give our guests towards the end of the tour another half a day of free time to do their thing, relax, go to the beach, you know, go on a boat trip, see the beautiful rock formations of that area. And then on the last, we head back north to Porto, to Lisbon. Before we get to Lisbon, we make a stop at a tile factory, another great highlight of this tour. The Portuguese are known for their tile, their azulejos, so we make a stop there as well. And we get to Lisbon around lunchtime. We have lunch in downtown, and then we finish our day with included farewell dinner at the hotel. A nice early farewell dinner. You know, our guests have early starts the following day to head home, and that is how we wrap up our tour. And it's pretty sad at the end because everyone, we bonded, we became a family, but everyone has to go home, and that will be the end. Yes.
Or talk about the next time, using those welcome back credits and booking your next trip together. So here, this video.
This is the story of 2 couples.
Exactly how important traveling with Globus can be versus comparing it to an FIT. And as you watch it, think about which couple you would want your clients to be. Ryan, we can't see the screen either.
It says unconnected.
Okay, thank you. He's
coming. This is the story of 2 couples vacationing in the same place at the same time.
Sure?
Yeah.
Alessandra?
Yes.
Huh?
Hi. You have a good trip?
One chose a Globus tour.
Come with me to the gut.
The other went on their own.
A taxi? I want to rent the car.
Go it alone.
I don't have that. I don't know what app
What's the name of the app?
And you're on your own.
Our ride is just around the corner.
Are we close?
It's like 4 more blocks.
Go with Globus.
You are already checked in?
And we'll make everything easy.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Alessandro says, have to try the
No
muscles.
one's answering. Try pushing the buttons.
Hello? We're here. Hello.
Tour with us, and the world opens up effortlessly.
If you follow me, I will take you inside.
It keeps moving. I think we need to keep moving in order for it.
Because there's a big difference between figuring it out and having it all figured
So
out.
guys, when you travel with us, you skip the line.
Where are they going?
They're going in.
On a Globus tour, you see more. You do more. You learn more.
Name is Lucella, guys. We are here. He is doing perfecto. Flip it now. Flip it again.
It says to look for a guy in a blue hat.
Blue hat. There are like 10 guys with blue hats.
On a Globus tour, you simply enjoy. With less stress, less worry,
Try over here.
less hassles,
Hello.
and more stories.
So a lot of people miss these when they come here, but these are the wine windows.
I wonder what that is.
Alessandro, since we have the rest of the afternoon free, do you have any suggestions?
Well, you know what, guys? There's actually a really nice farmer's market. It's around the corner, good for lunch. I can show you if you want.
Let's go.
Honey, I don't know where to go.
Can't we find a real person?
Next time, don't just go.
You want me to buy you something? I could maybe.
It's always my favorite part.
Go beyond. Tour with Globus.
So as many times as I know we've watched this, it doesn't get old. Remember, you can find that video in the Travel Advisor portal under the Marketing Hub, under the Source, and then it's actually one of the top 5 things to download for you to use and abuse. So remember that it's there. So now, getting into one of my favorite things is Avalon Waterways and river cruising as a part of the Globus family of brands. And I'm excited to now turn it over to Adrienne, who is a longtime cruise director with Avalon, and she's here to tell you all the things and how extra special they are. So there you go, my friend.
Thank
you so much for
Irene.
being here.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity, everybody. A wonderful good morning. My name is Adrienne. I was born in Budapest in Hungary. Some people say, yes, I do have some paprika in my blood. I love to share Hungarian goulash recipes with my guests. I moved to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam, in 2001, following up my family roots. Lived temporarily in Vienna, Austria as well. And I have a small daughter, a small mini-me, who's 7 years old, and she's half French. So it's quite an international family and upbringing. And because of that, I feel home on almost all the rivers we are cruising. I have become a program and cruise director in 2001, worked for some of the competitors of Avalon. I always looked at the ships as beautiful ships with great contemporary design that were very visible in every port, having the best docking locations. And I met some colleagues who highly recommended me to join their team, which I did in 2014. And never looked back ever since. I've been with Avalon, and I'm a very proud Avalonian. And I make our guests also very proud Avalonians. They love returning home to their home, sweet home, far away from home, to our floating hotels where they just unpack once and pack again at the end of the trip. So let me introduce you to some of my favorite features that we are very proud of when working for Avalon. And Avalon is not just taking very good care of the clients, of the guests, but also of us. So we have a team with members who've been there for 40 years, for 25 years, having worked as Globus Cosmos tour directors before and joining the Avalon family. So maybe Enrique, you might want to join us.
So you
never
really
know.
grow
Yes.
within
We grow.
the family too.
Yeah, and we get to know each other because you can, of course, combine a bus tour, a land tour with a cruise easily. Going in Portugal, you can do pre and post extensions, which I always highly recommend because a pre-extension, just staying a few days already in a European spot will get rid of the jet lag, and the guests very refreshed and very proudly, they already make some little groups of friends together and they join the program that starts right away once we're on board. But let's not run ahead, but let's take a look at the next slides that I don't see on my screen. I don't know if it is showing up on... Oh yeah. Why would you choose Avalon? We have smaller ships, bigger experiences. We have a fleet of 15 ships, and we have ships that are, they can carry 166 guests, and we have the smaller ships that can carry the maximum of 128 guests. So we have a low passenger count, but a very high crew attention rate. We have 45 crew members approximately, so it's almost a 3-to-1 ratio when it comes to client counts. Higher guest satisfaction, we won a lot of awards, and we have excellent rating results also coming back from our clients that we receive at the end of every journey. We call it home sweet home. We have wonderful suites, an all-suite fleet of Avalon. So we have the smaller ships that end with a Y. The name ends with a Y. For example, Imagery, Tapestry, Poetry. These are the smaller ships, but they carry 128 guests and they are 361 feet long. The ships that don't end in a Y, they are passenger ships that they can carry 166 passengers. Now, we have built these ships to the maximum dimension that comfortably fits into the narrowest locks. On almost every journey, guests will enjoy traveling through some locks, which is always, they marvel at it, looking at the walls, either coming down or going up around us. And it's a great experience to get them on the sky deck and experience it together, taking videos. And so we have the maximum dimensions, the ships lengthwise and widthwise that can fit into the narrowest and smallest locks. So our ships can travel on all the rivers of Europe. And we also fit under the lowest bridges. The bottoms of the ship are created in such a way that we can sail sometimes when competitors will give up, for example. So, and also some other companies have 190 guests on the same size ships versus we having 166, which makes quite a difference because we have at least 30% larger space in our beautiful suites. So let's see these beautiful suites that I've been talking about. Why Avalon? Not just the suites. I have to also talk about the rest of the ship, which comes up. But here we have a beautiful view of our suite. You have wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling windows, sliding windows. You just open them up and create your suite, turn it into a balcony. With this, we are not taking space away from the suite, from your living space, but with this one movement, easy movement, glide the door open, we create a beautiful outdoor space, and you can put a little table there, a little sofa, enjoy a glass of wine while cruising through the world-famous Rhine Gorge with the many age-old castles with their beautiful stories, or arrive into Budapest, into the heart of the city with all the monuments, and just enjoy gliding away. So we have these panorama suites, truly panorama suites, and what you see here is unique to Avalon, which Avalon started first, and now we have some copycats in the industry. We have angled the wall and put the beds facing the windows instead of just facing one of the walls and have one person actually having a better view than the other. Now both travelers in the stateroom, you wake up in the morning, somebody gets up, undoes the curtain, and then you can sip on a cup of coffee while looking at a beautiful scenery. And by the way, that cup of coffee can be actually breakfast room service as well. So we offer that, but I don't want to run away that much. So we have also custom bed and pillow firmness. you arrive on board of the ship, you can test the pillows, the mattress, and we can make it firmer for you. We can turn the mattress around to make it firmer or softer. We have, of course, the special veggies that we can put between the beds, so it feels like one gigantic bed. And the pillows also. We have the menu, and the housekeepers will be there in a fraction of a moment to help the guests get their best pillows. Now we have a larger bathroom and shower. Actually, for me, being on the road is almost like a mini vacation. I wish my bathroom at home would be this fancy with marbles and everything. We have L'Occitane bath products. I love using them. And we have guests very complimentary about the amenities, which are L'Occitane products. Yeah. And so here you have actually a quite nice picture of how a panorama suite looks like. You can see the angled wall of the bathroom. With this angled wall, we gave extra space. So the shower, I heard, don't ask me how I know or we know, we have 5 people that can fit in the shower. Now, we are not encouraging that for guests to choose and experience it on board, but it's a wonderful shower with glass doors and beautiful amenities. You can see the sink is also elongated, so it's actually good for 2 people. And we have different colored towels, and guests always say that what a great idea. I also implemented this practice at home as well. You have a white towel and you have a beige or brown towel, so there's no domestic turbulence if somebody mixes it up. So this would be just lovely features. You can see we have a closet and shelves. We have ample space for the clothes. We have space for the large suitcases under the bed, so nothing is in the way of enjoyment. A beautiful writing desk and a mini bar, a little sofa, a chair, and a flat screen TV that can be turned in and out, so it does not take away from the view.
And these guys are 80% of our staterooms on board.
Yes.
So as Adrian mentioned, they're 30% larger than industry average, and 80% of our staterooms are panorama suites.
Yeah, they are beautiful. And this is just a few pictures of the famous bathroom. We also have a little vanity mirror with a light. Yeah, I just love it. So it's something that the guests are really raving about. The bathrooms are much larger than the industry average.
And girls, from what you can't see, is what I think is an important piece of a bathroom. Not only the his and hers bath towels, but there's a full-size hair dryer in the bathroom as well, too. So you don't have to travel with it.
Oh yeah,
it's a great little positive surprise,
yes,
for sure.
Definitely. So just like also with the other Globus products, we also have optional tours, but we have included excursions, and not just one, but we have many options, many choices from these included excursions. So every day guests can decide on joining an excursion, which can be active. We have active and discovery cruises. We have classical choices. We have discovery tours. We have active tours, depending on guest experience and what they would like. For some guests, the ship in itself is already a destination. I have to talk about one more thing that is one of my favorite features on the ship, and I worked on many ships during my career, which started in 2001, so yeah, 26th year. Yeah. I'm working in the business, is the Panorama Lounge. It is called Panorama Lounge. We have full-size windows, floor-to-ceiling windows, also in the Panorama, which is the big living room of our ship, where all the lectures, entertainment, port talks happen, and that's where we have the bar with the amazing happy hour as well. And these windows, they don't have any wall sections in between them, so it's like one big, well, almost like aquarium. You can look around, so it's like one big glass bubble. It's just
views,
almost
say, right?
360. Yeah. It's just one of the most beautiful features, and very nice contemporary design that does not distract from the enjoyment from the view, which is happening outside as well. So we have the classic active and discovery excursions. So we have a choice for everybody. Maybe some guests have been to Amsterdam already, let's say before, and so they would like to do something else, either an off the beaten path walking tour that takes them away from the busy downtown areas where everybody else goes. We go to the little lesser known places where we actually introduce them to smaller local businesses, local vendors, little cafeterias, and ateliers where they can actually also create some little postcards, for example, memories that are tangible and they can take home as well. And then we have the active excursions, hikes, bike rides, kayak excursions, for example. We have our own bikes on board. Some of them are e-bikes as well. We maintain them. We have an adventure host who is also taking guests out on organized excursions, so they can really make their own discoveries as well, which is a little bit more dive into some historical sites. Active and Discovery is a product that we came up with quite a few years ago, which gives an excellent opportunity for several generations to travel together. Grandparents with their grandchildren and children can enjoy the same cruise, but doing totally different things during the day. Somebody can go up, hiking up the castle, while maybe the grandparents can go on a lovely wine tasting tour, and then a bike ride along the Moselle River, and they meet again at lunch and exchange their experiences. So why is it so special? We have more unique port cities, so sometimes you just see one lonely Avalon ship somewhere in a small port, where we have a special, unique access to a musical venue, or actually climbing up into a castle where we are allowed to roam around at night, discovering different wings of a 7th century old castle. So we also have more time in each port. We love overnights. We listen to guest feedback, and Avalon listens to our feedback as well. So the itineraries have been fine-tuned in a way that we maximize the time that can be spent in towns with the docking positions and the allowances, and we also sometimes do daylight sailings with commentary on board, and overnights in towns where there are a lot of good pubs, Rüdesheim, Düsseldorf, for example, or Amsterdam. So let's see just an example of how a day itinerary looks like. We have a few of these active and discovery cruises. We have them in the French region. We have them on the Danube River, which is these are some of our most popular destinations on the river cruises. They are 1 week long, so everybody who can travel, 1 week is not very long, so this is an easy and very popular tour or cruise to book. So take a look, Wachau Valley. You can see how many choices we have that day, and it's just in the morning, canoeing, kayaking on the Danube with professional guides, or a guided bike tour when they leave from one port, bike along this beautiful valley and end up in another port while the ship is sailing, so we wave at each other from shore. We have a wine tasting in one of the largest wine cellars of Austria, or visit a local farmer in an apricot orchard who's going to introduce you to his local products, jams, and of course the apricot brandy, the liquors as well. And when everybody's back on board, we have a discovery event, onboard cooking demonstration, Mozart Kuchen. Ooh, lovely.
And these are all included.
These are all included.
Discovery
Absolutely. So highly recommended that people sign up online for these, because we have, of course, on some tours limited capacity, and then on board, of course, we can tweak it as well. But it's very good that guests get information beforehand. We can help, of course, with the planning, and it's just a wonderful way of traveling. We have flexible dining on board Avalon. So we have the panorama dining room, which is under the panorama lounge, beautiful buffet and also set dinners. And we have the panorama bistro, which is in our panorama lounge. So you have this amazing 360-degree or 270 view when you can have these cute little portions of more or less the same menu that's downstairs and just enjoy in a more casual setting. Be quick and go outside,
kind of at
maybe.
your pace, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then we also have, of course, room service. And sometimes, which is, of course, weather dependent, we have Sky Grill, either for lunch, and I heard as of this year we will also offer it for dinner. So that's just wonderful. Flipping burgers and salmon and chicken up on the sky deck, enjoying ice cream and see the world go by and see, you know, some guests from neighboring ships looking at us in a very, very envious face.
That's a nice part, guys, because the ships are 166 people for a maximum capacity, and we have the flexibility to customize when we want to because of the intimate experience we provide on board.
Yeah. And so we are also, of course, love entertainment. We have outside entertainers come on board, and they are wonderfully talented people. But besides this onboard entertainment, we have in the Panorama Lounge, we organize ourselves trivia, karaoke, dancing. I love the musical tunes and fun games, for example, playing favorite songs. I ask guests, what are your favorite songs? Write down per stateroom 3, and then we make a medley and play it for them. Nightly drink specials. We have sometimes whiskey tasting, for example, and we have the Sky Drill dinner. So it's always something happening on board after dark. Either we just guide people where to go, for example, to the venues if there's something happening ashore, for example. Yes, summer festivals and all alike. We have this feature. So as you can see on the slide, I'm not going to go into much in depth because we don't have all the time for that, but we have amazing included features. We have, of course, the complimentary beer and wine with lunch and dinner, and as of this year, we extended it to have soft drinks throughout the day, so that is very special. We have this complimentary beer and wine with lunch. Besides that, we also have the complimentary happy hours, which are extremely popular. They begin the first evening after embarkation, because on embarkation day we have a drink with the captain. Well, he's only having orange juice, but we have the welcome reception, safety briefing, which starts normally at 6 o'clock. So highly recommended that guests land by latest by 5 o'clock on board. And if they would like to do, because we have a few optional tours that depart that day, that they are on board around 12 o'clock for that. But if nothing like that happens, but of course we have a wonderful glass of bubbly with the captain on arrival day. We have great shore excursions. We won a lot of awards. Besides, Avalon has won a lot of green awards, so I'm very proud also to say that we are doing these tours and cruises in the most sustainable way, and sustainability has been very important. Some other features that I love about our ship is you can bring your own travel bottle. We also have some extra bottles on board of the ship. So we are not handing out millions of plastic bottles to pollute the environment, but we have fantastic water dispenser stations on the ship. And in the club lounge, next to my favorite spot, which is the coffee machine, and also in the front we have cookies, donuts, local cookies all the time. We have a water dispensing station, and this water is enriched with magnesium. You can choose flavored water, all kinds. So that's just a wonderful amenity. So we have, as I already mentioned, we have an adventure center, adventure halls. You can ask for Nordic walking sticks and really make it just the boat is the ship is the destination, as relaxing as you want or as busy as you want, because there's always something happening on board. And I just picked one of my favorite itineraries, which is the Active and Discovery on the Rhine. I've done a lot of these, and I've done a lot of the classical Amsterdam to Basel or Basel to Amsterdam. The Rhine River is a fantastic wide river, one of the busiest rivers in Europe, connecting an amazing constitutional monarchy of the Netherlands, Amsterdam, a world-famous city, 65 miles of canals, 750 years of history, 950,000 inhabitants with 1.2 million bicycles. We go through Germany and along the border with France, and then we arrive in Switzerland. So what I wanted to just mention about this, we have on this Active and Discovery cruise, we have in Amsterdam kayak excursion. You can go and paint your own artwork, for example, or go off the beaten path. If somebody has not been to Amsterdam, canal cruise is what I would recommend. Then we sail through Germany, stop in Düsseldorf. I'm just going to pick a favorite part. We stop in Koblenz. Guests can bike along the Moselle River. Then we sail along the most beautiful castles with commentary. I introduce guests to medieval lore and gossips. And we make a stop, which is not on this map, because it's a surprise stop. We have a lot of surprise and delights. It's a small town of Bingen. We stop there for the night for a few hours, and we take a bus after dinner in the dark, and we take guests up to a castle, Rheinstein Castle, just 700 years of history, and they are going to be welcomed by the owner of the castle and a court jester who's going to do some crazy fireworks for us, and then you have free time to roam around a medieval castle, marveling at historical knights' armors, for example, and certificates hanging on the wall, old armory, and then we descend the same way. This is just mind-blowing, and only Avalon is doing that. We have the only permission from the owners. And just after this, I mean, Heidelberg needs no introduction. Beautiful discovery, active hike in Heidelberg, or discovering the world's and Germany's largest castle ruin, the Heidelberg Castle. We have a student prison there as well. These students, they have been pretty rowdy back in the old days as well. And then just to mention Strasbourg. Strasbourg is one of the most beautiful French towns, and I would highly recommend for the guests to go into downtown, do a bites and highlights, get some French snacks, and enjoy. And last but not least, we have Breisach, which is a great point to discover the Black Forest from. And then as an add-on, at the end of the cruise, we have 2 beautiful days added on in Switzerland. So a post-extension is a wonderful way to wind down from a cruise. We go to Lucerne. You can see actually on the picture that's the very famous, still intact wooden bridge of Lucerne. And then we have a little Swiss Alpine experience going up to a mountain, Mount Pilatus or Stanzerhorn, where guests can actually blow the Alpine horn if they wanted to. And we have a fantastic dinner in a local folklore restaurant. Cheese fondue, of course, and fondue on the menu, and they can hear a lot of yodeling. So with that, I would like to thank you for your attention, and let's see what is left. I think a wonderful...
We're bringing it home, guys. This was an extra special webinar, and we really appreciate you hanging out with us, because it's not every day that I have 2 colleagues with me that are on the ground hosting tours and river cruises to really give you their insights and experiences to then share with your client. So remember that you can always find all of the details in the Travel Advisor portal for the in-depths of what's included and what to anticipate as you're having that qualifying conversation with your client. And a great way to make money with Globus family of brands is to do groups. So remember, we have a great foundation for groups. It's typically a group just starts with 8 people, and you're going to earn half of a group rebate with 8. And then for Avalon, to secure that group space, you need just a deposit of $25 per person based on 10 people, and it's a refundable group level deposit that will hold your promotion as well as your group amenity of complimentary gratuities and the space. And then you can market and book those people into your group and get them excited about their upcoming Avalon group trip. And then for land, the traditional way for most of our tours is to hold group space based on 10 at a refundable $500 level. But remember, Archer Travel is an exclusive agency that's a part of our group development program. So for land, what you're able to do is hold group space up to 180 days prior to departure without that group level deposit. We have a flyer that will get posted in the Travel Cafe if it's not there already that goes through all of the details for you, and it's a great risk-free way to start off being successful for groups. Remember, Wendy and myself and Dilber, your group's travel specialist in the office, are here to help you with your success. And Archer is an exclusive agency that was selected to be a part of this program, and we can't wait to see where the limit ends, because we hope that sky's the limit. So incentives for group, you just need 8 people. Avalon, the full rebate is 1 for 10. Land is 1 for 16. You can learn more about groups later on going to the group webinar that I did a couple weeks ago in the Travel Cafe, as well as utilizing the power tools that are at your fingertips between the Travel Advisor portal, myself and Wendy. We have over 100 years of dedicated experience within the office. So if we don't know it, we'll find that answer out for you. As well as marketing materials, group flyers. We want to do a consumer night. Get creative for your success. And then don't forget to work those promotions. We have some great promotions going on right now within the Travel Advisor portal, free air, or save $1,500 per person on select 2026 Avalon Waterway Europe River cruises. We have land promotions, save $1,000 per couple, or with Cosmos, save $500 per couple on select tours. And the nice thing about the promotions is that you're not just looking at you're not shopping for the sailing to find the right promotion. You can go to that specific promotion and see exactly what tours relate to that promotion itself, so you can really look like the hero for your client. And we also do Air Assist. For you as a travel advisor, we have a fantastic phone line that is for you only. And remember, when you book air with Globus, with packaging it with land or river, you earn 5% commission. And your clients can bundle their air with their tour package and make that final payment all at once 90 days prior to departure. And with our FlexAir is where you earn the 5% commission. Note this phone number down. We want to keep a secret because it's for you as a travel partner only to reach our air desk, to talk about air itineraries, air questions with them, to make sure that you get your clients on the right air itinerary for their round trip home airport departure and back to arrival. And then we also have some great incentives with us. There's a flyer for Sweet Rewards, as well as a Travel Advisor discounts within the Travel Cafe that we can talk about in depth. Just shoot me an email, iga@globusfamily.com. And we actually now have a Globus exclusive promotion for you. From now to February 20th, you have the opportunity to save $100 per person, so $200 per couple, in addition to combining it with public promotions for your clients. What you have to do is you're going to need to email me that invoice number. There's also going to be a tracker where you can submit on a form for this dollar off, and your clients get it added on the back end. So once they deposit it for their vacation, we go in and add this savings on the back end because it's an exclusive for the Globus Family of Brand Unpacked events. So we can't wait to see you use it, and hopefully what you've learned from Enrique and Adrian now have some takeaways for further qualifying conversations to get your clients booked on a Globus land tour or an Avalon River cruise or even a Cosmos opportunity. So cheers to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We know it was a little bit longer of a webinar. We appreciate your time, and we can't wait to see where you go next. Cheers to you.
All right. That was a very informational webinar. Thank you to all three of you. We do
my earpiece did die, so I can't hear you.
Okay. If anyone has any questions, you can find Irene's contact information in the Travel Cafe so we can send the questions directly to her as we have extended over our time today. I'm very sure that she is more than happy to answer any and all questions she, Enrique, or Adrian receives. So once again, we'd like to thank you all for your time. And if you have any questions, again, please email them or you can reach out to us at Archer Travel. Email Jose L at archertravel.com for any generic questions. Thank you very much, and we will see you all later today.